Hey y'all, it's Amanda and this is my Texas Zone 8 garden, and with it being 105 degrees outside, we are inside today, and I wanted to talk to you all about my favorite online seed companies to purchase from and some tips to make sure that you get the best seeds and the best deals online. Okay, so I already bought all my seeds for my fall garden. I've been growing that on. My seedlings are looking amazing. We are in really good shape, feeling really good about that. But I am still already looking to the seeds that I want to have to begin starting in December and January for my spring garden. And with that in mind, I will be purchasing seeds in the next probably 60 days to basically just start getting that stuff together to make sure I have everything I need prior to going into the holiday season. Because the holiday season is bonkers, bonkers crazy. And I want to really make sure that I have what I need ahead of time. With that being said, I really wanted to chat with you all about the companies that I love to purchase from. Some of them I purchased from forever. Some of them have been companies that you all have suggested that have now become my favorites. And then I also want to talk about some different tips that you might be able to utilize when you're buying seeds online. Now, I've been buying seeds online for probably minimum 8-9 years, quite a while. Tried a bunch of different companies, anything from the larger companies to medium size and even to really just small sellers on Etsy. But I wanted to kind of chat about the companies that I basically kind of stick to at this point in time, unless I have an amazing recommendation from several of y'all. Okay, hands down, my number one favorite seed company is Swallowtail Garden Seeds. And I actually got that recommendation from several of y'all. Up until probably about 1.5 to 2 years ago, I didn't even know anything about that company, but several of y'all stepped up to be like, hey, you need to be purchasing from them. Now, this company is located in Santa Rosa, California. It's a smaller yet larger company. It has like a small company feel, but there's so much variety to purchase from, which is great. They have been in business for a lot of years. They guarantee all of their seeds up to 1 full year from the date that you purchase it. So that's really nice. You definitely want to check out guarantees or refunds and that kind of stuff with each of your companies. Their website is pretty kind of old school in my opinion, but I don't dislike that because there's not too much going on, right? So it's easy to kind of navigate and get through it. Now, their packaging is not fancy with all the beautiful pictures and all that kind of stuff, but I'm okay with that. I used to be really into all the pictures. Like I wanted it to look pretty. Now I realize that that's an extra expense and I'm cool with it not being super pretty if that's going to save me a little bit of cash on the back side of things. So their packages are very basic. I will say that they have a really good amount of information online and on their packages. So I always feel really safe being able to go back and refer to it online or look through the package to find all the different steps that I need for each individual seed. Now, regarding price for Swallowtail Garden Seeds, yeah, they're about mid. They're not the cheapest, they're not most expensive, but I'm okay with mid. I have really great germination rates with them, and I've really enjoyed the process of gardening with them. Now, I have definitely found a lot of seeds that are a little bit more unusual, which I really love that. Y'all know me, I'm buying all my cut flowers. I'm always looking for something a little bit different. So some of the seeds that I like to buy from them that I don't typically get other places, begonia seeds, bells of Ireland, when everybody is out, they always tend to have theirs. Dahlia seeds, geraniums are one that I'm going to be starting and I'm really excited. Lisianthus seeds, and their Lisianthus seeds are actually priced really well. Petunia seeds, they have a wide variety, and a bunch of pansy and viola seeds. So all of those are really great. I've bought way more than that list from them, but I've always been really happy with the quality of the product, quality of seeds, and the price. Now, I also love that they have perennial seeds, which I think is really fun, and not just a little. They have a ton of perennial seeds. Let's see, globe thistle, which I fail at over and over again. I think that's a me thing. Ornamental grasses, which that's where I got the millet that I'm growing this year. Lupin seeds, limonium seeds, obedient plant, just tons and tons of perennials that are really, really fun and easy to get started. But Swallowtail Garden Seeds, hands down, my favorite go-to company. I go to them before any other company. And basically, I like to track together several of the plants. I don't recall if they do free shipping or not. Let me see. Yeah, free shipping on US orders over $60, which is great. So that works really well. They have a seed catalog that you can buy. Even if you don't go over $60, it's $5.99 for shipping in the US. It's a whole lot more for Canada or international. Okay, number 2 on my list is Southern Seeds, or also known as the Southern Seed Exchange. And it is veteran owned and operated. It's considered one of the top 50 stores on Etsy. So that's something that you can buy their products on Etsy. I prefer to drop by right through their actual website. Okay, this company has been around since 2019, originally operated in Florida. It says that it has like over 60,000 5-star reviews. That's pretty stinking amazing, which is really, really great. Now, their packaging is basic at best. Typically, it's a little clear bag with some very simple information on it with the seeds in it. You definitely do have to refer back to their website or refer to other YouTube channels or other websites to figure out how to get these seeds started. Their prices are pretty freaking amazing, and they also run some amazing half-price sales typically in early spring. They also sell in collections. So if you want like a basil seed collection or a beginner gardener collection, you can buy just a collection of seeds to kind of meet your needs, which I think is kind of fun, especially if you need inspiration, or if you're a beginner gardener, or if you're really trying to push yourself to try some different things. Now, I will say that I feel like they don't have as much variety as other companies. However, they do carry several things that are a little bit more unusual in my opinion, which I think is kind of fun. I would say their germination rate is just fine. I think my germination rate from Swallowtail Garden Seeds is better, but in all fairness, you really have to look past just the company and look at yourself when you're starting seeds, because a lot of times it's on you, whatever the issue is with starting seeds. And I would say 95% of the time it's on me, something that I've done incorrectly with starting the seeds and not necessarily on the company. However, if you do have an issue, you can contact any of these companies to ask questions. They do have a seed guarantee. They want you to be 100% satisfied with your seeds, plant supplies that you purchase from us. If anything you buy from Southern Seeds proves to be unsatisfactory, we will either replace the item or refund the purchase price less shipping, whichever you prefer. And then they have all the contact information. I think making sure that they have a refund policy is super important. If you're someone, I almost never ask for a refund because, like I said, 95% of the time it's on me. But definitely reach out to a company if you have something like zero germination. Okay, number 3 on my list is Johnny's Selected Seeds. And this is my company that I recommend to all brand new gardeners because the amount of information on Johnny's Selected Seeds is amazing. That really, really great information on their website, great information on their packets. Yeah, it's a really good company to start with because I feel it took a little bit less overwhelming. And so if you're a new beginner, and then of course if you're, me, you've been gardening for a decade, definitely you can start with someone like Johnny Selected Seeds. You can call in, they're going to answer your questions, they're going to help you through the process. Now theirs is a 100% employee owned business, which I love, non-GMO, safe seed pledge, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed, which is great. They have free shipping for orders over $200. I don't think I have ever purchased $200 in seeds from Johnny's Seeds. So that's something to remember. I typically almost always have to pay for shipping for them because it's rare that I need $200 worth of seeds. Now, that might not necessarily be the case for larger gardeners or gardeners who do cut flowers that they sell or things along those lines. But for me, $200 is not something I typically spend for seeds. They have the gamut. They have flower seeds, vegetable seeds, herb seeds, farm seed, tools and supplies, organic, growers library. They have tools. They have so many different things across the board in Johnny's. So for beginners, it's really kind of nice because it's almost a one-stop shop for you. Now, their packaging is not super pretty either. It's not going to have the beautiful photo and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. What it does have is the information that you need for getting your seed started, which is really nice when your hands are covered in soil and you're trying to get these seeds going and you don't want to have to scramble to find out the information. Everything you need is on Johnny's packets. Now, regarding what I love to get from them, I like to get zinnia seeds from them. I like to get snapdragon seeds. They have so many great snapdragon seeds, and lisianthus seeds. Those are some of my favorite ones to get from them. They actually have a specific category called for cut flowers, so you can go in and peruse throughout that one. But those are my main staples that I got from Johnny's. Now, I don't buy from Johnny's as much as I used to when I was a beginner, because now I've moved on and I'm very selective about the seeds I want because I've learned so much over the years. So a lot of times I'm really forcing myself to try something new, or I already know exactly what variety I want to get. I feel like Johnny's is a really great way to start exploration. Okay, the next company, my number 4 and number 5, there's 2 companies that go hand in hand, Park Seed and Eden Brothers. So let's just talk Park Seed first. I don't buy a ton of stuff from Park Seed. However, they do have things that I love, specifically petunias. Petunia seeds is a really good one for them to have. They have 100% non-GMO seeds guaranteed to germinate. They have experts that you can contact and ask plenty of questions. And they have what they call their customer commitment, where your order arrives on time and as promised. And they are considered one of the oldest, largest mail order seed companies in the United States. Here's their guarantee. They guarantee all products to be high quality, true to type, shipped properly, and to perform as advertised. If your plant has received our recommended care and doesn't perform to your satisfaction, notify us and we will replace it free of charge or provide the cost of the product as credit towards your future purchase. So definitely kind of says that they are not going to refund you. They're either going to replace it or they're going to give you store credit. Let's see. It also says that regarding seeds that you need to contact them within 6 months from the day that you purchase them if you're having any issues. So once again, it's another company where their seed packets are very basic and simple, but y'all know that I'm not against that at all. Okay, next on my list, and it kind of goes hand in hand, Park Seed, but now we're swinging over to Eden Brothers. I use them both for the same kind of thing. They're not somebody that I buy. Neither of these companies are ones that I buy from all the time or anything like that. These are just companies that a lot of times they have something that I'm looking for, so I might contact them for something like that. Now, I didn't look at Park Seeds, but Eden Brothers has free shipping on orders $79 or more currently right now. I don't think it's like that all the time. Let's see. They started in 2009 in California, but they're currently in North Carolina. They have a very small team, but they're very dedicated. I actually love that they have small teams. I think that's great. And I love when the employees are just so involved and just bought into the company. So it says when a product is incorrect, damaged by carrier, defective in any way, or never arrived, Eden Brothers will consider a return as follows. You have to go through their process. You have to submit it. Let's see, defective missing products within 30 days. They're going to request pictures of the damaged items. All returns are made through mail. If the item is damaged upon receipt, Eden Brothers does not require for it to be returned. They do not accept returns of used goods. Eden Brothers will accept any unopened seed packaging within 15 days for full refund, less shipping costs. Eden Brothers does not accept returns for bulbs, perennials due to their perishable nature. I would say that it doesn't really feel like like they're super open to returns. The list for return stuff is a little ridiculous, y'all. So this is all their return. That's a lot. So anyway, that's something to be considered with Eden Brothers. And like I said, I don't buy from them a ton. I usually just buy from them for a few very specific things. Okay, and then I'm going to give, so that was my top 5. I'm going to give an honorable mention to M.I. Gardner. I don't buy tons and tons from M.I. Gardner because it's really more focused on the food gardening. However, if you are new to gardening or you are on a budget, M.I. Gardner is the place to stay. To try out. Cheap, 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 which is really great. You don't have to buy these massive seed packets with 250, 500 seeds in it. You can get some very just simple 25 seeds for $2. They keep things very inexpensive, which I really, really enjoy. They're getting better on their cut flowers. They're starting to have more and more cut flowers. Typically, if I'm going to buy any kind of vegetable seeds, I typically will buy from M.I. Gardner. But I didn't put them on my top 5 because they're not somebody I go to year after year after year. Now, I store all my seeds in these like photo organization containers, and that's worked really good for me. I did a big clean out of seeds this year and then gave a whole bunch away to the people in my neighborhood who grow. So here's an M.I. Gardner seed. Always, it's really pretty packaging. This is a new design that they've recently been doing. M.I. Gardner is the company where I had the Constaludo tomato seeds last year that were 0% germination. And I did 2 rounds of them. So I did a first set of germination and then I went back and very carefully did a second set to germinate, and neither gave me any. So I had 0% germination on those, and I had several other of y'all who commented that you tried to grow that specific variety of tomatoes as well, and that you had 0% germination as well. Do I think that's a one-off? Yes, I think that's a one-off. I think M.I. Gardner is a good company and provides great quality products, and they just happen to have a batch of seeds that weren't very good. It just kind of is what it is. Did I call and request my $2 for refund? No. But I think that's one of the great benefits of M.I. Gardner. I don't feel terrible when it doesn't work out because I only spent a couple of dollars on those seeds. That's something to consider. But like I said, they're my honorable mention because I don't turn to them as often as I do a lot of other seed companies. Before you all told me about Swallowtail Garden Seeds and Southern Seeds, M.I. Gardner was in my top 5. But now that I have Swallowtail Garden Seeds and Southern Seeds, those 2 immediately jumped to my number 1 and 2. And that, of course, pushed M.I. Gardner out of the top 5. Okay, so you're ready to buy seeds online. I want to talk about a few different tips to go through in regards to buying seeds online because it is super fun. It can be overwhelming, and you can spend quite the bundle on seeds if you're not paying attention and if you're not extremely specific. Number 1 thing before you go and buy seeds, know your zone, know your garden, all right? Don't go buy seeds that don't work with your particular area. It's literally just throwing money out the door. Know your gardening zone. Know your areas of the garden, the parts of the garden that have full sun or part sun or shade. Think about your space, all right? Like my space, you guys have all obviously very familiar with my garden. I would no way and ever go buy a package of 500 seeds because I will never need 500 seeds of anything in a year or 2. You don't want your seeds to sit year after year after year after year because the germination rate continues to go down the older the seed is. I like to buy seeds that I'm going to finish up in 1 year, 2 years tops. And I think that is extremely important to remember, especially for small gardeners. Now, within your garden, you need to know those light requirements, water requirements. That's a very important thing. What areas are going to get enough water to be able to germinate seeds outside, and what areas you're going to have to go ahead and germinate the seeds inside and then plant them outside at a later date. Just knowing a lot of specifics of your garden is very, very important prior to going shopping. Number 2, make a list. I say this because I quite frequently don't make lists. I'll just be like, ooh, pretty, and I fill up my cart. Make a list. Make a list of the things you think that you want, you may or may not need. Also make a list of the things that have not worked for you in the past or that you want to stay away from for whatever reason. Maybe it was got too much pest, too many pests for that particular variety. Maybe the germination rate was really poor. Maybe your space, like mine, your garden's too hot for that particular variety. Have that list. Have the no-no, the black list as well, so that you know that you don't fall for some pretty picture online and end up buying something that you already know doesn't work in your garden. But have your list of things you put together. A lot of times what I'll do is I don't grow tons of vegetables, so I will choose about 3 to 5 different vegetables to grow in my garden each year. And I try to do something new, a new variety each time. So I make a list of what I'm thinking ahead of time before I go shopping. Same thing for all my cut flowers. I always make sure, and I'm pointing towards my seeds up there, I always make sure I go through, and before I go buy snapdragons, I go check all my snapdragon seeds, see how many I have left and how many of them I consider still good, meaning that they're less than 2 years old. Anything over 2 years, I just pass on. I don't keep those just because the germination rates are so much lower, and I don't really have the space for something that's only going to germinate 25%. So that leads me to my next one, which is don't overbuy. Which is so hard, y'all. It's so hard not to be like, ooh, 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 it's only a few dollars, no big deal. Overbuying it's definitely just throwing money out the door. You can always get more later. So don't overbuy your seeds. Really be conservative about what your garden can handle, the amount of seeds your garden can handle, and what your life can handle, because germinating seeds can be a full-time job. It takes a lot of time, takes a lot of space, takes a lot of space inside, but then also remember all these plants get bigger and they're all going to go outside. There is no place in my garden where I could plant 50 of one particular plant, even zinnias. A lot of those are spread out through multiple beds, 6 different beds where I might plant zinnia seeds. So it's rare, even with the size of my garden, that I'm going to have, room to plant tons and tons of seeds. So the other thing is I like to buy each season for seeds. So that's something I want you guys to consider about the overbuying. You don't have to buy all of your seeds in one go of it. Take your time. Right now, I'm going to be looking at seeds that I want to start in December and January. That is my focus. I'm not going to buy any other seeds that I'm going to be starting, late spring, summer, or fall of next year. Only this one specific time. Now that allows me to shop multiple times for seeds during the year instead of that just one and done time where you buy all the things at one time. I also feel like this allows me to be way better organized with the seeds that I'm buying. All right, so I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what number we're on. But next on my list is shipping costs. Definitely look at shipping costs. If shipping is $15, you want to make sure you're buying quite a few seeds from that company. You don't want to just buy 3 or 5 packets and pay $15 to have those shipped. I quite frequently look for any shipping sales, so you can keep checking those out. But I tend to buy from the companies who have free shipping. That's literally what I do. I tend to buy from those first because I know that that's going to save me money in the long run. If I have a company where I only need 2 or 3 varieties of seeds from it and it does not offer free shipping, I almost will never buy from that company just because I don't want to pay to ship, very thin, lightweight seed packets and pay $6, which is almost the cost of the seeds that I was buying anyway. At that point, I'll just go search for other companies, or I'll search at one of my big box or local nurseries. Next, you need to check the number of seeds per packet, because a lot of times you're like, oh my God, that price is amazing. It only had 10 seeds in it. That's why that price was amazing. So definitely something to consider when you're looking. Look at how many seeds are going to be in that packet. That's one of the things I like about In My Gardener. They tend to have seeds that are about 10 to 25, sometimes 30 or more seeds in packets, but their prices are typically only a couple of dollars. I think they are so well geared towards the small gardener. That's why a lot of times if you're on a budget, start with In My Gardener for your seed purchases, because you can spend a very small amount on them and have a ton of seeds to work with. Okay, and then last on my list is don't be afraid to try some new things. Every year I challenge myself to try at least a couple of things that are different or that I've never done before. I did begonia seeds this last year, and that was a disaster. Oh my gosh, they were so hard to start. Some of them made it, and the ones that made it were gorgeous. Absolutely love. I also did the Listata de Gandia eggplant this year, which was amazing, absolutely amazing. I'm obsessed, and I will be growing more eggplant in the future. I'm trying to think of some other ones that I started from seed. Cocoa marigolds were new to me this year. I did a whole bunch more varieties of petunias from seed. I did a lot of annuals that I would typically buy in flats in my local nursery. I started a lot of those on my own this year, which is great too. But challenge yourself to try at least a couple of new things, even if it's just one new thing. Give it a try. It's kind of fun. It's interesting and makes you change things up. And I just find it's a cool experiment to try each time. All right, you all, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video talking about my top 5 places plus an honorable mention that I like to buy seeds online. I've had a lot of experience with these companies. I put them in order from my favorite to from my very top to my least favorite, although the top 5 are awesome. They're all really good companies. But I really want to show y'all where I lean towards the most, where I spend the most amount of my money. Now, I did want to preface this with saying I am not endorsed, paid. I don't have any sponsorships. I don't get anything from any of these companies. They don't give me discounts. I don't get anything for free. So all of this is just my straight up honest feelings regarding these companies. They have no control over what I am saying about them. So you can guarantee that this is a very honest, an honest take on each of these companies. But what I really would like to know is I would like to know other companies that I did not list that you love. And now, don't get me wrong, I've bought from more than these companies. I bought from probably 25 to 30 different seed companies online. And I've ruled a lot of them out very, very quickly. So these, the top 5, it's not that I haven't tried other ones. These are just the best for me, in my opinion. But let me know what companies you absolutely love. Also, feel free to tell me the companies that you like to stay away from. That's super important too. I know that we all have very different experiences with different companies. So some company that I love, you might really dislike, or vice versa. That's totally fine. Like I said, we all have different experiences going on through with each of these companies, and that's totally cool. I'm thankful that there's lots of companies for us to choose from, so we all don't have to use the same one no matter what. And let me know if you think there's any additional tips that you would suggest for people buying seeds online, something that I've missed, something that you feel is super important when looking at seeds online. All right, you all, I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Every time you like and comment, it helps grow my channel so much. If you don't feel comfortable leaving a comment, just feel free to drop me an emoji saying hi and letting me know that you made it to the end of the video. And be sure to check me out at my social media outlets, including Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.